Hi, my name is Helia Singh, and you are watching another episode of our Well TV. And today we are talking about a very exciting topic. But before I start, I would like to say thank you for being here. For whatever is your reason to follow us, or following our episodes, or you ended up being here on YouTube and watching this episode. Let me congratulate you for taking the first step to improve your life. I'm sure there must have been something in the title that really made you curious to tune in and watch this episode. And I'm honoring you for taking action to improve your life. So well done for that. And please, before we continue, I really appreciate if you subscribe or like our this episode. So then later on, you can even come back to it, or you can share it with those people who may need this episode very, very badly. So please be a good sport and help us to give our message to the more broader audience. Thanks for that. So many people have reached out over the last few months to us and said, Helia, we've been watching your Well TV since last year. Okay, we get it. We know how important it is now to have an open mindset, or looking at education, how important it is to create wealth, looking at the marketing aspect, how the passion plays in that role, how the storytelling plays a role. We get it now, but there is a problem. We don't know how to increase our willpower. Or for those of you who are just heard this term, or you are not very sure what it means, basically they are just saying, look, I know exactly what to do, why to do it, but how can I fix my laziness? I'm just too lazy to take steps, even though I know I have to do it, I know what to do, but I'm just being too lazy. How to fix that problem? So if you are one of those people who relate to this question, or you know someone who relates to this question, please continue to watch, because you're going to learn quite a lot of things to how for once forever get rid of the laziness. So we all are human. It is all about learning new skills, mastering it, and the way I put it, look at yourself as a masterpiece. So every month, every day, you do something just a bit better for yourself. This is how you're going to create the better version of yourself. Hi, my name is Helia Singh, and welcome to my show, Wealth Coaching with Helia Singh, the fastest way to build wealth. It now, but there is a problem. We don't know how to increase our willpower. Or for those of you who are just heard this term, or you are not very sure what it means, basically they are just saying, look, I know exactly what to do, why to do it, but how can I fix my laziness? I'm just too lazy to take steps, even though I know I have to do it, I know what to do, but I'm just being too lazy. How to fix that problem? So if you are one of those people who relate to this question, or you know someone who relates to this question, please continue to watch, because you're going to learn quite a lot of things to how for once forever get rid of the laziness. So we all are human. It is all about learning new skills, mastering it, and the way I put it, look at yourself as a masterpiece. So every month, every day, you do something just a bit better for yourself. This is how you're going to create the better version of yourself. In the last episode, we talked about power of habit and how the habit loop works, how basically what triggers the habit that we have, and how we can replace our bad habit, hopefully, to a good habit. But why willpower is so important, and even in that episode, I talked about this, and I promise that next episode we're going to talk about willpower. And it's just because with willpower, you're going to make that habit, or the new habit that you learn, as a permanent habit. So basically, you put it on autopilot. You don't have to put any energy in it and waste any more energy there. So you just do it as it goes. It's just imagine you wake up in the morning, you don't think, you don't contemplate sitting in the bed, okay, what am I supposed to do? Well, fine, maybe for the rest of the day, yes, you will ask that to yourself, but you know, by automatic the system in your body or in your brain, you just go to bathroom, take a shower, brush, and make your coffee or having a breakfast. Whatever is your routine, you do it without even thinking. And that's just because habit played a big role there. Imagine if every day when we wake up, we start thinking, okay, what am I supposed to do, and trying to put energy there. You're going to be drained out by 10 in the morning. So that's why it's so important to use and recognize the willpower and how we can use it to have more energy for today or the day that you have, and just have a better day and become more successful, and then use your energy for much more important things in your life rather than a normal routines. So, but first, what is willpower? So according to American Psychology Association, they have a very fancy definition of willpower, and it means the ability to delay gratification and resist short-term temptation to meet long-term goals. Or in another words, it means sacrificing short-term pleasure to gain a long-term, goals or whatever you want. I'm sure we all had this experience when we were younger, that our parents or teacher told us, okay, don't watch TV or don't do this. It's just, okay, maybe you're going to have fun, go out with your friends or play a video game or whatever. But if you don't do that, and let's say you spend time to study, if you get a good mark, then I'm going to buy you blah, blah, whatever, a better game or go for a holiday or something, whatever you wanted. So we already experienced that, how to sacrifice short-term pleasure over something that is going to give us a longer gratefulness and pleasure. So, and that is basically is willpower in a psychology term or a science form. But obviously there are some other words that, because I'm sure nobody walks during the day and say, oh, I have a willpower problem. It's very strange to use that word, but willpower is very commonly known to all humans as the drive, motivation, self-control, self-discipline, so, or self-regulation. So if, let's say, next time you say or you hear someone to say, I don't have any drive to do this, it's basically they're talking about the willpower. Or if someone said that, look, I just can't stick to a diet, I'm just so weak as soon as I see a chocolate or whatever, so I just can't make a decision, I can't resist it, I have to eat it. Basically, they are talking about willpower. But I have a very good news for you. Willpower is like any other skill. It's a learnable skill. It's not something you're just born with it and that's it. You're either lucky or not lucky to have it. It's something like maths, science, or even playing instrument. You can learn to do it or to play it or to gain it. So, but the ironic part is you need willpower to increase or to gain more willpower. But we all have it. And the good news, another good news is that every night when we sleep, if we have a good sleep, the next day we're going to have again a willpower ready for us. It's just similar to, if I use a metaphor for it, it's like a battery. So when you use a battery, the energy, obviously the battery, the power will go down. And if you recharge it, the next day or next time you use it, again, it's ready to use. Or imagine if you run a car. So if you fill your tank with gas or petrol, so of course it takes you to a certain area or whatever distance you want to go. But once it's done, it doesn't matter what a fancy car it is, it's not going to go anywhere. So instead of that, so all you have to do is just fill it up again and use it. So willpower works like that. And as the word suggests, willpower is all about power and energy. So, and the energy is something that we can learn to sustain it or increase it. So before we go anywhere or you get so excited, so please get a pen and paper ready and write down these 7 hacks on how to increase your willpower. All right, you ready? Okay, the first hack or the first tip is you need to improve your self-awareness. What it means is you need to be aware of where do you use your energy. Are you one of those people who by midday you say, I'm drained, I can't do anything? So, and then look back to see where you have spent your energy. Sometimes even you may not be doing anything, but if in your brain you are having that mental chat all the time, you are basically using your willpower to have that mental chatter going on, even if physically you haven't got up and do anything. So that's why, unfortunately, the people who have depression, they are using all their willpower. So it's not that about to tell them you need to snap out and do something. They need to first increase their willpower. And first of all, is just by knowing about your surrounding and your self-awareness without any justification. I'm sure you all heard either in the news or you know someone in your family or close friend that even people who are highly successful, they fall into or they get into trouble and fall into temptation usually in the evening or at night. It's just because all day during day they have used all their energy or willpower to make important decisions. And by the time it goes to evening, so they just can't make a very good decision, or basically they pick a fight, or they will be more exposed to trouble. And that's why most of the crimes or impulsive crimes happens after midnight. It's just because the person just doesn't have that their energy together to even fight what is right or wrong. Again, no justification for their bad behavior, but this is how the science works behind willpower. So self-awareness is the first thing, to see where your energy is going. If you don't know there is a hole in something, so how do you know where to go and fix it? I think it just makes sense, and you are following what I mean. The next one is, which is one of my favorite ones, it's interesting, is exercise. And it's so funny and ironic because people say, I need willpower to even do exercise. How can I do exercise to get more willpower? But that's the thing, because through exercise, it doesn't matter, even if it's once a week, once every 2 weeks, if you make it as a routine to do something for yourself. Of course, science has proven, and we all know about this, that after exercise, even after a brisk walk, you're gonna have some more energy in your body. Some hormone will get released in your body, and they call it, I will call the common name for it, a happy hormone. You feel good about yourself, your mind is more clear, and this is how that feeling good and that patting on your shoulder to tell yourself, yes, I did it. So that's something that makes you increase your willpower. So exercise has always been one of the best way to increase health and wealth and even happiness. So the third one is do important things early. You see, I think Brian Tracy has got a very interesting book. It's called Eat the Frog First. I remember first time I heard that term, I just couldn't even imagine what it means by that. But when I read it and understood it, so it's very true, because during the day we try to avoid confrontation with things we have to do. And if we don't have that confrontation, or at least do it in the morning, that problem is just going to keep nagging in the back of your mind. It doesn't matter if anybody else knows about it or not, as long as you know you have to do something and you've been purposely delaying or avoiding it, that's just going to drain energy from you and drain your willpower. So that's why, again, why is it recommended to have early walk or early exercise in the morning? Because that's the time, first of all, you get the happy hormone release in your body, and the next is that it's good for your body and you get it done. I'm sure you know yourself or somebody that they try to go on a exercise routine. But if you do it after hours, after work, sometimes we get so tired or drained or get sucked into other things that exercises get pushed back. At least that happens to me quite often, because by the time I finish work, even though I planned it, so it just seems impossible. And because that wasn't even the first thing or something I really wanted to do, somehow I manifest some other, whether it's a good or bad thing in life, that really have to sacrifice the time for exercise. And it's just because it was done after hours, when I was already too tired to make a very good decision. So to get the things early, important things, get them done early in the morning. You may even have noticed that people who, and of course you all are watching whether television or Netflix or whatever, you've seen that when it comes to ads for food or chocolate or desserts, they all are in the evening. It's just why? Because people, by the time you finish your work or going back home in the car, whether even it's through radio, they're talking about all this fast food and describing it so deliciously that you're already so tired. I said, oh, that sounds very good idea. I was wondering what to cook tonight, and this is what happens. So the marketing people, they already know how the willpower works and how they use willpower to make you buy their product. But why not us to use our own willpower to make a better life for ourselves? So next time, make the important decision early in the morning. One thing on the side, I know is a bit sneaky, but in a good way, if you mean well to pursue someone to do something, is first make them or ask them to do things that immediately they will say no. If they keep saying no, there is only a time that they give in. And this is one of the rules of how to pursue people. And in the beginning, if you show someone a way to do things, let's say you want to buy a car or something, at first when they say no, their mind is made up. There are not many people who are ready to go back and contemplate on that thought and maybe change their mind. But if in the beginning you show them things that you know they will say no, there is after a while, their willpower is already drained and they will be ready to take on your offer. And that's why even we've seen in big deals in the multi-billion dollar companies, they're usually done over dinner. Why not during lunch? It's just because by dinner time is the time that everybody wants to relax. They had a busy day and they want to talk business and get the things done. And this is how those who want to pursue a company to buy their product or have a joint venture or have a contract with them, they try to have a dinner meeting. So that's the side note. Now the third one is eat well. Well, very interesting. Again, we're talking about wealth, how to create more wealth for ourselves and how to create habits that help us to become wealthy and how the willpower works in there. And suddenly we're talking about exercise and eat well. It's just because these two are so important and so interconnected that one cannot be there without the other one. And the good thing is, through exercise, even you will learn your body rejects bad food. So if you eat well, you are already doing not only something good and nourishing for your own body, but by eating well, you already taken all those bad choices out of your willpower energy. So that's why they say when you go shopping, don't go to shops to buy grocery food when you are very hungry. Because if you're hungry, your brain cannot function properly. It's going to be fuzzy and it's just going to pick whatever it thinks is going to give it a sugar rush and fix it, basically. So that's why you need to have a plan for even your meal, so then you can have healthy food. So then you don't have to use your willpower to say, oh, I don't know what to cook, because that by itself is going to take your energy. The next one is meditation. Surprise, surprise. Meditation, we all know, is going to help us to focus or help us to not be distracted all the time. And another benefits of meditation is through that, once you sit there and have a clear mind, that clarity is a big reason how willpower get increased through meditation. Because while you are meditating, things you already know, okay, what is important, or what you thought is important, or what is urgent, or what you should do first. In our mind, you get more clarity. And that clarity is just takes away the energy or extra energy to use through your willpower to make a decision. So that's why meditation works. So however way you like to do meditation, it doesn't matter whether if you're like me to like to listen to something will be a guided meditation, or whether you are one of those people who want to sit somewhere in a quiet room. It doesn't matter as long as you do the meditation that to get the clarity and focus. It works. That will help to strengthen your willpower. The next one is, because the research shows that we don't use much willpower when things are on autopilot or become a habit. So that's why the next one is just make things as a habit. If you already like something, let's say, again, it's a very interesting observation, and I'm always say it's much easier for men than women. If you look at even successful men, such as Mark Zuckerberg or Steve Jobs or anybody else, you'll just look at them, they usually wear the same clothes every day. Why? Because they don't have to get up in the morning and say, what am I going to wear today? They don't have to use even tiny bit of their willpower on choosing the wardrobe. So that's why it just takes a habit for them. They put it there, Monday I wear this, Tuesday this, Wednesday this, Thursday that. That's it. And personally for me, well, I'm sure you, those who are following me, are saying that, yes, I don't like to wear the same dress, for sure. But instead of waking up in the morning and deciding what I'm going to wear for today, I'll do it at night before I'm going to go to bed. So because already my energy was finished, so why not to choose my wardrobe now for dress for tomorrow, and that's it. In the morning when I wake up, no matter what happens, doesn't matter how's the weather outside, I'm going to wear that dress, and that's it. Then I don't have to think about it. I don't need to use my energy anymore for something that could be used or put on an autopilot. So that's another hack, that put things on autopilot, like your brushing, like even if, let's say, things, if you want to become more healthier, don't buy cookies. So that's it, get the habit, just take it away from your shopping list. Or if you want to, get into a habit of doing exercise, for a while just put your shoes, your sports shoes next to bed. That's it, all you have to do is that. That by itself is become a habit. And then we'll go to the next step to really take the action. And this is one of the reasons, actually, that why New Year resolutions don't work. Because in New Year resolution time, people sit there and think about, okay, I have to get my life together this time, this is serious, blah, blah, and then they want to fix their marriage, relationship, money, work, everything. But that's the problem, they fail. Because there are too many things to handle. There's too many places for the willpower to put energy there. And the problem is this: once they lapse on one thing, they start feeling, blaming themselves and then feeling as a failure. But we all are human. It is okay to fail every now and then. The main thing is just keep continuing. It's just, I remember a friend of mine who's a doctor, he said, very interesting, he said, it's just like taking your antibiotics. If you miss an hour, doesn't matter, start again. But you need to finish that. So, and that was a very good analogy to use to say, just stick to it, to finish it. Even if you lapsed, you can go back on track again. Another one of the hacks is relaxing and sleeping. Look, people are different. We all have different time or hours we need for the sleep to regenerate ourselves or feeling fresh. But having a very good night's sleep and relax is really helps our willpower. I'm sure you all seen people who are, especially kids, who are very cranky, and the parents say, "Oh, as in the sleep, past their bedtime." This is the same for us human or adult human. It's just because we learned socially to manage it well doesn't mean that, yes, by having lack of sleep or staying more up, it is okay. It's actually taking a toll somewhere else. And for us, it's actually taking toll from our willpower. So if you don't sleep well or if you don't relax well enough, so you need to use your willpower to give yourself energy to do things. And guess what? By using that, by the time, again, goes to maybe afternoon or evening, if something important comes up, you won't be able to make a very good decision because you already finished all your willpower for the day or your energy. So this is that. One more thing is research shows that people who are actually using the most willpower or they think that they have a very good willpower are the people who actually will fail in willpower. I know it sounds a bit strange, but we've seen many smokers who are really, they think they are committed to quit smoking, but after 4 months or a few months, again, they fall into temptation. It's just because they put in too much energy to keep saying, no, I can do it, I can do it, yes, I'm strong enough. Of course, that self-talk and positive talk is important, but they're just putting too much energy of their willpower for that. And that's why as soon as something bad happens in life, or for whatever reason is the person, let's say, is smoking. If it was before for having a bad day, they started smoking and that become a habit, even though they are in quitting zone, if something goes wrong in life, which usually it does, that will be a reason for them to lapse and they fail and they just basically give in to temptation. So don't get too much rigid about it and say, yes, I've got a very high willpower. Willpower for everyone is the same. How you manage it and control it, it goes back to individual. So these are 7 hacks how to use or your willpower to create more willpower or strengthen what you already have. Because as you already know, to create wealth, everybody knows that okay, this is what you want, now we can work backwards and know the steps. Once you know the steps, why you're not taking steps? I had this chat with clients, said, look, last time we talked about it, I put you on a budget. And so you were supposed to send me a snapshot of your account every 2 weeks. There's nothing else. Just send me a snapshot. Why you haven't done that? And it's not that because I was going to, tell you, scold you that why you didn't save enough money as per plan. It's just, and I said that. It was just, I was just being lazy. I said, no, this is not laziness. It's that willpower. You leave it too late for the day to do it, that you just think, oh, it may not work, and there are other issues with it that, as you know, with wealth, it's not something, one thing to fix. It's just a big whole machine and puzzle. You need to just go to and fix every screw in there to make the machine works together. So that's why willpower is very, very important to create a permanent habit and put it on autopilot, and you don't have to think about it anymore. And this is how, I'm sure you've seen some people that say that, I don't know, she's a superwoman or he's a superman. He's been doing all these things every day, and he's still, like, let's say 8 o'clock at night, still so energetic. How? I mean, what do they do? What drugs are they on? So I'm sure we all have said it or thought of that. It's just because that person found how to use willpower to go through the day and still feel energetic and use your energy in a very good way. Another example I can give you is, imagine you've got a car and you fill the gas and they just go for every little things, you go around the house and you just keep driving around. Of course, there is a matter of time before you run out of gas. But by evening, if you want to go somewhere which is a bit far and you need a car and you don't have a gas, well, obviously you can't do it. But imagine you saved that energy, that gas in the morning, and think about it. Go do the things that you could do to shops or whatever. Take a walk instead of wasting your gas. if you are like me, I'll just tell you another secret about me. I always leave my feeling in my car only when it's beeping and just giving me noise that yes, it's about to go. Now, I know it's bad. It's a bad example even for my kids, but I trust my car. And I know it's always giving me the alarm way too soon. It's like, let's say it gives me another 60 kilometers to go, and it says, well, it's already complaining that needs a petrol. I said, come on, 60 kilometers, I can go to another town and come back. Yes, I'm just around here. When I get a chance, I'll do it. But with that beeping, it's just like that noise is just keep reminding you that, yes, you have to get it done. When you get that done, you feel good that you don't have to think about it anymore. That's the whole thing. So, and I know I've been putting that and delaying it to say that, oh, I can do it later, I can do it later. But definitely that's just taking my energy away. So that's why now I've just been telling myself that even if it's the first time it's making the noise, it doesn't matter how many kilometers I still got. As soon as I'll see a petrol station, I'm going to pull over and just get it done. Because otherwise it's going to be sitting there and just nagging you. And I'm sure many times that happened to me, and obviously to many people out there, that by the time you want to go and do it, just say that it's almost 10 kilometers or 15 kilometers left, and then you are so worried and driving and saving every drop of that petrol not to burn more energy. So this is exactly like our willpower. So that's why please don't use your willpower and get it wasted. Use it in a terms that is going to actually help you to run it in a longer time. Well, we've fixed the sleep now, so make sure you have enough sleep. And now the challenge between for actually willpower is always between our impulsive decision and cognitive decision. So that's why it takes a lot of energy to choose in between. So that's why I choose wisely so you can recognize it and basically don't make decision things. Another thing is for even to say no to things, you have to take some of those energy. Another way is to always say that I will do it later, I'll think about it later. That's much better to postpone that decision to later. And when you have a more energy or when you have time, then you look at things rather than right there say yes or no, just because you don't want to contemplate on it, or you may think by this way you are saving energy or willpower. Instead of saying no or yes, just say, look, I'll get back to you later. And leave it for things, and then if depends on how important is that decision, you can schedule it for the next day or in one of those early decisions that you have to take, as we talked about it earlier. So then the more earlier you make that decision in the morning, you use that energy that you are still fresh and towards a good use. So next time you want to, let's say you are upset at work, you want to walk out from your work and hating your boss or whatever reason, think about it. I'm sure you already used all your willpower during the day and you're so tired, and then something happens and that's it. You burst into something angry and even maybe cry and then walk out the room and say, I quit. So before you use that word, so just think about it. Use your willpower for later on, and right then don't make any decision. And that's the whole reason they say when you are angry or in your heart, do not make any decisions, because right then that anger and that feeling is just gonna, and that decision is gonna give you a short-term relief or peace or feel good about yourself, but in a long term it has an adverse effect on your well-being and your health. So how, by now, I'm sure now you learned quite a lot of things about your willpower or motivation, whatever name you want to call it. And now you know how to harness it more, how to use your energy. So I would love to read your comments on this and see if you've got any other hack or what else do you use to create more energy for self. So that we would love to hear that. So if you think this episode helped you or someone that you may know, so please share it with them. Really appreciate that. And please subscribe so we can continue producing these kind of products that can help other people in completely different area that you may not even have thought about it, that how this is affecting our wealth. So that's why we are a wealth coach with a completely different visionary, because we know to fix the wealth is not about a strategy. It's about how to fix ourselves, how to fix this masterpiece, our brain, and then the wealth definitely comes in. Until next episode, have a happy, healthy, wealthy life. Hi, my name is Helia Singh and welcome to my show, Wealth Coaching with Helia Singh, the fastest way to build wealth.